أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
One of it. I'd like to say that the main thing about country music is I love to sing it, and there's a lot of people who love to hear country music.
And you take, for instance, like Loretta Lynn. She says on national television, and I have the data on it, that I heard it myself. She said that she was made successful in her singing career by a dear friend of hers that was the same age as she, and died when she was 18 years of age. And Loretta was trying to get into the singing world, you know, but she says, I had no success at all. Until one night I was sitting in bed reading a book. And she says, who walks right through the wall but my friend, the spirit of my friend? And she says, Loretta, I'm going to make you a very famous person in singing Western country music, and I will be with you all the time. Trust me. And she says, she had a big concert once, and she was coming down with this bad cold. And she thought that her voice was going to give. She talked to her spirit and felt that she was going to be helped. And she got on the stage and she started to sing, and right in the middle of where she really needed the power at all. And her spirit friend tapped her on the shoulder and said, and started to sing for her. She said, her voice went through me, the power. He said, the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits.
The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, about the false Messiah, Dajjal. He said, the hadith is in Kanzul Ummal, وَيُبْعَثُ مَعَهُ شَيَاطِينَ, that there would be shayateen, the evil jinn, evil spirits, who would be raised with the false Messiah, with Dajjal. يُشَبِّهُونَ بِالْأَمْوَاتِ, and these evil jinn, evil spirits, will assume human form. But they'll assume the human form of those who died long ago. يَقُولُونَ لِلْحَيِّ, and then they'll come and stand in front of you. And they will say, تَعْرِفُنِي? What's wrong, son? Don't you recognize me? I'm your father. Because he'll have the same physical features, complete with DNA and everything, of your father. He would have your father's voice. He'll have your father's memory. And he will declare, I am your father. Ana abuk. Ana akhuk. I am your brother who died 40 years ago. Aw dhu qarabatin min. Or he would impersonate someone else who is a close family member. The evil jinn taking human form and taking the form of those who died and coming before those who are living.
Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I obtained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still, Nash and Young. I saw David the day before Christmas last year, talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood, and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store, and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He said, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He said, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music.